Alright, I'm Francisco.
Yeah, how you doing, Jose?
I'm Derek, and we're going to be talking about global warming. So the reason why we picked this topic is because we thought that it was a relevant issue we could speak on, and it's definitely related to technology, and there's also relevant to our own daily lives too. And there's also definite ways we can fix global warming, so there's a way we can solve it, and we're going to explore all those things in the PowerPoint. So in this PowerPoint, we're going to be talking about what is global warming. A lot of times we hear it on the news, even in classrooms such as this, but we still don't know exactly what it is, so we're going to be identifying what that is, why it's a problem, why we should care about it, why we should have concerns about it. Since this is a technology course, we're going to be discussing why technology is involved in it, how it exacerbates the problem, and how we can also use technology to fix the problem, how we can reduce these problems, and what we did to implement our solutions. We made a blog about it, actually. And what will happen if global warming stays unchecked.
Alright, so as many of you guys know, global warming is a problem in today's society. It is increasing and we should be more aware about it. So actually there's a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, and this is due to the increased use of CO2 emissions, and those pretty much come from coal and petroleum. So mostly the coal use comes from electrical energy use, so that's like charging your laptop, making this presentation, or cooking something that uses energy. So actually according to the EIA, the US has averaged around 2,100,000 metric tons of CO2 emissions in the last 5 years. And on a global scale, there's an average of 13,500 MMTs of CO2 emissions that is slowly going up by 400 MMTs per year. And for gasoline, the highest emissions of CO2 comes from diesel. And that just goes to show like how our daily lives, like cars we drive every day, like all these things make a difference in the increase of temperature. And according to the New York Times, it actually states that the warmest year was actually in 2012, with an average of 55.3 degrees. That was just last year, so that's really ridiculous. And how do we know that global warming is real? I'm about to provide some statistics, specifically from NASA. In 1981, there was a 0.28 Celsius increase during 1980, and in 2010 there was a 0.66 degrees Celsius increase since 1980. And for sea levels from 1871 to 2000, it was approximately a rise of 1.7 millimeters per year, and from 1993 to the present day, 2013, there was a rise in 3.16 millimeters per year. And finally, for Arctic and landmass, in 1980, there was approximately 7 million square kilometers of Arctic Sea, and last year, it was approximately 3.75 million square kilometers of Arctic Sea. So as you can see, it's actually decreasing at a fast rate, and we need to do something about that.
All right, so why should we care about global warming? A lot of times when we hear about big problems and big phenomena such as this, we don't assume any personal responsibility, and we don't think that it's going to individually impact our lives. But we will definitely be impacted by global warming. There's definitely a serious problem that it presents to our individual lives. Things such as crops, animals, vegetation will all be impacted. Weather patterns will be impacted. Rainfall will increase. Coastal erosion will increase. So tourist sites like Miami, the Bahamas, all those things won't be as useful or as effective in bringing us pleasure. And also climate change brings about a lot of issues to your health, actually. The World Health Organization reported that over 100,000 people were killed by climate change alone in 2000. So it presents clear issues that we should be concerned about and that we need to fix. So technology, since it's a technology course, technology is obviously related to global warming. There are three primary greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming: carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. All of these things are produced in great amounts by the technology that we use, things such as waste management, fertilizers, agriculture, fossil fuels mainly, deforestation. All those things produce these greenhouse gases, which add to the effect of global warming. So as you can see, this is a chart of greenhouse gases over history. Throughout history, the greenhouse gases remain pretty consistent and stable, but at the year century 1700, 1800s, we can see that greenhouse gases increased exponentially. We can attribute that to the Industrial Revolution. And as you know, the Industrial Revolution brought about a huge expansion in technology. So we can see that technology is clearly related to the amount of greenhouse gases in the air, in the atmosphere, which increases global warming.
Okay, so we talked about the problem, now it's time to talk about the solutions. So as you can see, carbon dioxide is caused by three major things: deforestation, fossil combustion, and the use of non-renewable sources of energy. also, deforestation has been calculated to be a source for up to 15% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions. So that means things like tissue, plates, money, paper, things like that. They're going to up to 15% of our emissions. An alternative to deforestation is reforestation. So it means planting trees, wallpapers, and using things like recycling. The second thing of this was the use of combustion, fossil fuel combustion. An alternative to that is transportation. You know, we can carpool, use mass transit, public transit, things like that. And the third thing on our list was the use of non-renewable energy sources. Power plants production is the most inefficient CO2 emission production of electricity possible. So a way around this is to use things like renewable energy sources. You know, replace your light bulbs at home. Use things that are environmentally friendly, things that are not going to harm the environment.
All right, so for our do something, we decided to raise awareness through a blog. Obviously, the link's right there in case you guys do not believe us. But out of the comments, we decided to pick the two top ones that we thought kind of contradict themselves. So on the first one, as you can see, the person that commented on this thinks that actually global warming is nature is process. So it's something that nature is going to go through and it's going to change over time by itself. So this person believes that we should not change anything. We just kind of have to let it work its way by itself. As opposed to the second commenter, he believes that it's a serious problem and that we should do something about it. He suggests that we should go to the government about this, and if not, we take our own action. So, like some solutions that we can do, we could lobby at Congress to try to push the law for global warming, or write a letter to our senator. These little things will help try to create a change, as we do all believe that global warming is an increasing problem, and we should do something about it.
Okay, so now, if we don't do something about it, these are just a few of the future impacts that it can have on us. Extinction of animals, stronger natural disasters, changing overall weather patterns, less availability of clean drinking water, drowning of cities, declining economic based on agriculture, and impact on future generations. If anything else, even if we don't care about ourselves, if we at least care about the future generation that is to come, you know, I don't feel as though it's right to leave the environment in the worst state that we found it. So, if not for us, do it for them at least. And most importantly, because Uncle Sam wants you to do something.
He wants you.
He wants you.
So let's do something about it. All right, and here are the references. And that's it. Thank you.